Four L's of life: listen, learn, lead, and love. Subtitled, You Don't Have to Be a Genius to Succeed. To be a leader, you must listen and learn to follow the vision. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Bannon, founder and chief innovation advocate of Budget Video for Biz Incorporated, known across the internet as Mr. Call to Action. Let me open with a confession. I am not a genius, never have been, and chances are you don't need to be either. But I have learned how to surround myself with folks who are. I am honored to have a world-class board of directors who freely choose to follow me. That is the part that amazes me every day. You do not have to become a genius during your time on earth, but what you must become is a great listener. And if you're brave enough to listen, really listen, you'll learn what it takes to follow a vision greater than yourself. That's how leadership begins. And I tell you, it's a supremely humbling experience. In school, I was a C+ student. Not because I wasn't smart, but because I was distracted. I was more interested in this strange new thing called computers than in passing my 5th level math course. I even flunked a required electrical engineering course, Introductory Theory Equations, at one point. But here's the thing that school and society don't teach you. Success isn't reserved for the top of the class, it's earned by those who keep showing up, even after they fail. Let me walk you through how that played out for me. The early hustle, fast food, fast lessons. At 15, I was the youngest manager in the history of McDonald's, working not for a franchise, but Ray Kroc's mother company, McCopco. Ever seen the movie The Founder with Michael Keaton? That garbage scene? That was me. And even then, I wasn't the golden boy. I was flipping burgers and managing people older than me in a fast food restaurant while still figuring out who I was. But it taught me something powerful. Responsibility doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It arrives when you're willing. College confusion to corporate ranks. I switched my major from engineering to marketing, required me to take 18 credits while working 40 hours a week at McDonald's to survive, pay for my education, and graduate. My 2.1 grade point average was nothing to brag about. No silver spoon, just grit. I left Connecticut, where Horshack from Welcome Back Kotter was a housemate, to chase the Southern Belle from Louisville that I'd fallen in love with. I wanted to work at Kentucky Fried Chicken and got an interview with the vice president marketing of Ham's Beer, who had just purchased KFC from J.Y. Brown, the founder, after Colonel Sanders. He went on to marry the drop-dead gorgeous Phyllis George, Miss America, and become governor of Kentucky. I, however, lost my girl. This new VP told me, Jim, I like you, but I can't hire you. You don't have a master's degree. So what did he do instead? He helped me to rewrite my resume. It even allowed me to use his Xerox machine in the white southern mansion that was KFC headquarters on the Waterson Expressway. And that's how I landed a job at Singer Business Machines, who had purchased the old Frieden Mechanical Calculator Company. As a 21-year-old wet-nosed kid, I was now competing with IBM and Digital Equipment Corporation, the two largest computer companies on earth. I was living in the ghetto, renting a room for $10 a week, working on 100% commission, starving, living on White Castles and Tums, but was responsible for installing and running the U.S. Army Automated Commissary System at Fort Knox, on paper tape 300-pound mechanical typewriters. On the other hand, our Louisville office was also the pilot service center for the latest and greatest client servers that we had installed as point-of-sale systems in all the Sears stores. How? Because I showed up. I didn't have credentials. I had conviction. Climbing the corporate ladder and falling off it. I interviewed with General Electric in Cincinnati, and my professional life was rocket launched. Who would have guessed at that moment that this year, 2025, I would actually launch rockets by taking a $499 million order away from SpaceX and Elon? More about that on my website. By 30, I was national sales manager at General Electric's Lighting Business Group. Jack Welch selected me as one of the top 20 high potential candidates to be groomed to take over the company. I should have been set, but Jack Welch, despite the hype, was the worst manager I ever had. He was the leading advocate of shareholder supremacy, which has killed the U.S. economy for 50 years, along with Ronald Reagan's failed trickle-down economics. So I left GE, and it took a huge leap of faith. I became corporate vice president, sales and marketing, at only 32 years of age, of a joint venture that was the third largest light bulb company in the world. My new boss, President Alan Merkin, had built Philips Lighting, and we brought Hungarian communist capital into the U.S. for the first time in American history to build a U.S. company. We built a unique corporate board of directors or triad management team structure that I'm replicating today in my own budget video for Biz Incorporated company. Here's what made it unique. No decision over $5,000 could be made unless everyone agreed. Total unanimity. It was revolutionary. Anti-competitive, some would say illegal, actions taken in the marketplace by our two largest competitors created an environment where our major customers could not afford to buy from us, as the rebates they would sacrifice were just way too lucrative, preventing them from ordering from us even if we gave our product away free. Yep, life on the corporate battleground is not always fair. Mama never told you about reality? Get over it. Failing, the middle years, turnarounds, exponential, experiential growth, life training, invaluable real-world educational experience gained. I took a significant financial correction to move back home to Cincinnati, but was able to benefit from a crazy real estate market that made us a $150,000 profit in 18 months, allowing us to build a mini mansion in Montgomery, Cincinnati's premier neighborhood, to avoid a huge income tax bill. Driven by creativity, a yearning for learning, and passion for growth, I was able to turn around the Totes mass merchandiser division, who had suffered a 50% decline and fired virtually every headquarter manager, leading this division from a loss to a $750,000 profit gain. I guided a national sales force of 30 rep groups and brought in Snuggle Socks orders on a new product of $1.6 million with Kmart and $1.8 million with Walmart, and I got fired for it, as this success threatened the department store background boss that I reported to. Another huge pay cut, I moved to Worcester Brush. It required 2 years to sell our Montgomery, Ohio, newly built mini mansion. I spent 7 years leading Worcester Brush to Vendor of the Year 4 times. That's never been done by Black & Decker, Stanley, GE, or anyone else. I was recruited during a Vegas poker card game. After 13 interviews, I was back in the computer business as relationship director, international sales force of 100 people, 5 industry verticals, 1,600 Unix installations. Triad Systems was the AC Nielsen of the hardware automotive retail industry. But I became a merger acquisition casualty. My Chicago move, a former employee whom I promoted 4 steps at GE, promoted me to assume a position at Square D as a $60 million regional manager, later rising to new business development manager for the entire $300 million 100-year-old company. I wrote the marketing plan for structured wiring to create data, video, audio networks in the home, and the company was in the middle of a $4 billion acquisition with plans to double the company size. Then, tragedy strikes, ending my corporate career at 59 years of age. 9/11, and then the Federal Trade Commission did thumbs down on the merger, and I became the most well-known unemployed guy in Chicago with receipts to prove it. For 9 years, I couldn't find a job that fit. From PowerPoint to public access TV. So what did I do? I built the largest digital-based job networking group in Chicago, the Barrington Career Center, with over 4,200 top-tier professionals. One day, a Chamber of Commerce executive director told me, "Jim, no one is going to believe that you'd kill for a $40,000 a year job." She said, "Go into business for yourself." And let me be honest, that was the last thing I ever wanted to do. But I prayed, I soul searched, and I asked myself, what am I really good at? I build relationships. I'm a connector. I'm a communicator. I'm a storyteller. I took all those raw truths and created PowerPoint to YouTube.com, and then it flopped. I launched a campaign to 75,000 double opt-in executives, but not one single order came in. When it all falls apart, keep trying and loving anyway. I worked every job imaginable: cabinet and countertop salesman, flooring salesman, 48 hours a week, nights and weekends, for years as I searched for gainful employment. Walmart greeter, deli counter clerk, parking lot cart pusher, just to survive. And it was humbling. But through that humility, I discovered something deeper. It's not about what you do, it's about what you give. Love and time, those are the real currencies. The box of chocolates, the real legacy. Let me share a story that changed my life. A man named Matthew Kelly told it at church. He was 14, visiting a nursing home with a mentor. They brought a box of chocolates, they knocked on a door, and an elderly woman answered. They offered her a chocolate, and she lit up. She invited them in. She told her story. That's it. No genius needed, just 2 young men, a box of chocolates, and the willingness to listen. That story inspired me to serve communion and simply sit with people and hear their lives. But even then, I remembered something I heard once: don't go to the grave with your music still inside you. So I taught myself video production from scratch. I studied storytelling like a science. I became a TV studio director, a technical producer, and even a Eucharistic minister in a Catholic church, with a mass that was broadcast across all of Chicagoland on Comcast Public TV. And we recorded it on DVD, and I brought it to the elders in hospitals and nursing homes. founding a management team, interactive Facebook TV. We raised $14 million in 2004 to teach Zuckerberg how to change his kids and cats social media platform to become the #1 advertising company in the world, Meta. Losing virtually everything that was important: daughter, wife, and home. At 62, I had to retire. Cancer surgery, broken bones, life came at me hard. I moved to the desert. I lost my daughter, Lindsay, my hashtag 41 angel. I lost my 42-year marriage. I became broke and I was homeless. P.S. The ultimate victory is unveiled on April 22nd, 2025. Stay tuned. Watch Budget Video for Biz Incorporated explode. Do a Google search. Phoenix rising from the ashes. It only took 15 years. Hashtag engage, direct, measure, trademark. With hashtag call to action symbol, trademark. Final lessons. Genius is overrated. So here's the message I came here to give you. You don't have to be the smartest in the room, but always stand next to someone who is. Learn, listen, love. Don't chase success, chase service. Don't wait to be perfect. Start with what you have. And if nothing else, bring a box of chocolates, sit with someone, ask them about their life, and be present. Because in a world chasing genius, the greatest superpower is still being human. Thank you. P.S. Here's a surprise. This year, 2025, I will actually launch rockets with starfighters by taking a $499 million order away from SpaceX and Elon Musk. More about that on my website. Call, like in phone call, the numeral 2, action, and the word symbol, symbol.net. Call to action symbol.net. God bless you.